Yeah. Top of the beautiful day to you guys, man. Peace and blessings to you all. We got a dope show today. I got some honorary riders in politics in the building, man. What up, Jazz?
What's the deal?
What up, T?
Man, what up? Feeling good, Jay?
Man, y'all straight?
Yep, I'm good.
Don't start.
I'm ready to get it.
Don't start no stiff shit. We rolling. We rolling, all right? We're going to have a great show, right?
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
ready.
All right, what's the name of the topic for today?
Today's topic is Scriptz and Flickz.
We'll say that one more time.
Scriptz and Flickz.
Oh, man, it's going down there, man. We got a dope guest, man. I hope he's ready for it because we got some questions.
Man.
And we'll be back to introduce him right after the theme like this.
We hope you stay a while, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's right for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuss that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you rock it with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Oh, trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
Yes. And if you don't, you're going to get kidnapped, man. It's the Patio PolitiCz, and we back. It's your man, J5TH, Jasmine Denise,
Politics.
my brother, Mil Suave. We live in the building, man. So, look, man, without further ado, well, before I bring on our dope, extravagant guest, man, one thing I'm going to speak from the heart. This is my brother. I've been knowing him for years, maybe 4.5, 5 years now. Incredible individual. Super talented and a genuine-hearted person. We done had some fun on set. I never forget the first time I met him coming in auditions. He blew my mind, and we've been rocking ever since. We just finished a short film titled Sick Puppy together, where he killed it as fucking always. I love him. He's my brother. Jazz and Tyree, please introduce this lovely gentleman, man.
Man, what's going on, Tom? Mr. Tom Alper, y'all.
What's the
going
deal,
on, man?
Tom?
Wow, what an introduction. I'm like, who's that person he's talking about?
Man,
you know
it's
how
you.
we do.
It's
I'm like,
you.
I want to meet that guy. 'Cause my
We
mom
got him
wanted-
right here in our presence.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I can't believe I'm on the show.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
What an honor.
Look, man, before we get into everything, I gotta bring up the hook shot, man.
Oh, the hook shot.
Like, did you play bar high school or anything?
Yeah, I did. I played. Okay, so I'm from New York originally.
Yeah.
And I played JV and varsity 1 year. Then my senior year, my parents split, and my mom moved my brother and I out to California, and I went to Santa Monica High. Technically, that's where I graduated, but I didn't play my senior year.
Why not?
I kind of got there late, and to be honest, their team was pretty good. They were better than the team that I had back east, so I don't think I was quite good enough. Although I played with all those guys, and
Yeah.
Tom, was you good or was you good? Be honest.
Jasmine, I wish you could have seen me.
Oh, so you was balling, Tom.
I mean, I was
Because I seen you on IG, you was, with the youngster, and you
I got
had
the
a little
handle.
something. So was you good or was you good?
no, I was.
I seen the hook shot. That's why I'm like,
Man, I'm like, Tom.
I was a combination of, if you could think of Steph Curry's shot with Morant's handle.
yeah, okay.
So you was like,
Okay, Tom. So you
and
was
LeBron's
balling.
heart. That's kind of me.
So that means the
Yeah.
ladies was on you
so
then.
you was balling.
You was balling like that.
I mean, like I said, athletically, I wasn't the most gifted, but skilled and heart. I mean,
I was gonna say that. I know for sure you play with heart. I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell. Yeah.
like even that guy who I'm playing with. His name's Cliff Trotter. Sorry, I'm.
Shout out to Cliff, man.
Just shit.
So, Cliff,
He got pissed
kind of
that.
schooled you right there.
Yeah, he got pissed that I put him on Instagram. He actually was a excellent high school player. He was second team All City for. I think he played. I always call it's called University High. I make fun of it. I call it it
Oh,
Brent.
yeah, Uni.
I call it Brentwood High.
Yeah. That's where Uni at. So who was he taking it light on you, or you was taking it light on him?
No, he wasn't. He didn't know what to expect. So we were at he invited me to his father's birthday. They were having like a family get together, and there was a basketball court. So I had a couple of drinks. I started talking. You know how I can.
Oh yeah, talking shit time.
Talking shit.
Shit talking time.
In time,
Everybody
out
knows
fashion.
time.
And then I started saying, "Oh, you guys, should have seen me in my day." And then, of course, I start exaggerating and embellishing as I do often. And then all of a sudden, he comes out there, and I don't know if you can see. I mean, he's 20 years younger than me, and he works out a lot. He's in great shape.
Yeah, he looked fit.
So he went out there, and he gets right up on me. I'm like, okay. So I said, I got my one move, which is my hook shot.
What you want to do?
Yeah. Oh, that's dope.
So what I did was I went right on him. And, I'm left-handed, and once I got him on my hip,
it's over.
And I turned. It was over.
Yep, and then Tom did that.
And I called it too.
Okay.
I said hook shot before it went in.
Man, left-hand ball players are
Straight.
dope, man. That's Kyrie Irving's a left-hander.
Oh, he is. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, they finally lifted that mandate, so now he's gonna be able to play at home.
So who you going for? Well, I know you got to be a Knicks fan.
Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan.
So you from New York?
I am from New York, and
Do you like Trey Young? Because I know y'all New Yorkers, y'all hate Trey.
Trey Young, you can't.
he's a little punk. Great player. He's a great player.
Y'all talking shit.
How do we know that was
Something
coming?
weird about that guy. Like he's kind of.
How do we know that was coming? But
I mean, when his interviews, there's just something a little off about the guy. But then maybe that's what also makes him great too.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. Now, let me ask you this: Jets or Giants?
Oh, Jets fans.
Jets?
Yeah, I'm Jets, Mets, Knicks, Rangers.
Mets.
That's crazy.
No, Mets.
Mets. No, I said Mets.
Yeah, I grew
Wow.
up in Queens. So,
Okay.
Hey, shout out to Queens.
Yeah, Queens. So Shea Stadium, which is what it was called, and they tore it down. Now it's Citi Field. Which I've
Yeah.
been to.
Damn.
I remember Shea Stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shea Stadium's where the Mets and the Jets played. So
Wow.
So how was it? How was it growing up in the Queens? Like,
I mean, it's like growing up anywhere. The big issue is the weather there. I mean, the weather's horrible in New York. I mean, growing up, the winters are like freezing. You got the wind chill where when you walk to school, you have to walk backwards because that wind is so in your face. And if
That's
you
crazy.
Yeah, and
Dang.
literally from the time you get home to school, by the time you get there, you'll have like a whiplash on your face. So you have to walk
yeah,
backwards.
I don't think I'm going to New York
and
no
the,
time soon.
and the summers are like insanely humid.
I've seen.
But you got a couple good months there. May. If you're gonna go to New York, go in May, or go mid-September to October. That's beautiful.
So if I go, what food places should I go to?
Well, if you're gonna go in Manhattan, and that's the best part of New York because that city is unbelievable. They got everything. You got culture. You've got the best food. It's just it's like a mini
We got
Vegas.
Italian food.
It's like
We got
Vegas
pizza.
it's Vegas without the gambling.
So I gotta ask you, Tom. You've been in New York and LA. Whose traffic is worse?
Man, if you get on that,
Well, to be honest, I've never driven in New York
It
because
seems like it's a lot of walking.
everybody
yeah, walking
says.
and trains.
Yeah,
and,
because I came out here. I was 17. I didn't have a driver's license. So in the city, you don't do any driving. Because, I mean, the traffic is horrendous, but it's impossible to have your own car. So I would say the city is it's comparable.
So don't buy a car if you in New York.
Is there any parking?
Very little, and you got to spend $50 for an hour there. So.
Yeah, man.
So Queens, man, Queensbridge, like it's a lot of hip hop out there, man.
Oh yeah, it's
Like what was that like? Like
City.
Well, I'm older, so I grew up with the guy
like right before that era
Yeah,
started.
Biggie was the kind of that whole thing with Tupac and
Yeah.
Biggie and East Coast, West Coast, that whole little rivalry.
Yeah, and you was over here when that happened.
Yeah, well, I moved out here in the
When you're 17.
mid 80s. Yeah,
Damn. So you left right before hip hop started, kind of.
yeah, definitely. It was a Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was our
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Man.
Boom, boom, when I get off the bus, I forgot I had that thing.
Okay, yeah. You see that New York accent came out in time right now.
Sugar Hill.
Was it
get
like
off to school.
how it is on movies? How you because I know you guys got different boroughs, but where you may have the Italians here, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I'm Jewish. I was born that way, but I was raised in an all Italian neighborhood. So every time I come out here, people go, "Oh, you're Italian." I'm like, I'm not Italian. I'm Jewish, but
You got some Italian in your blood.
yeah. So
And was it like how the movies is with the Italians out there?
Yeah,
back
pretty
then?
much.
Oh,
It was pretty funny because
Fugazi and all that.
Yeah, like like the council. Yeah, Fugazi.
the Bronx Tale out there.
Like one thing I would always do is I ask questions, lots of questions. So I remember one time I was asking my best friend. He's Italian, and I met his dad for the first time. I'm like 10 years old, and I 11. I asked him. I go, so what do you do for a living? And he kind of looks sideways. He goes, what do you want to know for? And I was like, and then my buddy elbows me and he gets me. I says, never, ever ask an Italian father what he does for a living.
Damn.
And I was like, okay. I didn't know why, but I guess it was construction / mafia kind of thing. But he got very paranoid when I asked him that. So
Dang, that's crazy.
So-
Yeah, they like wondering if you the feds, the
Yeah,
little
pretty
feds.
much.
Damn, man. So when you got out here, was it a culture shock for you?
Oh, absolutely. My first, so I went to a high school where it was just one big building, and all of a sudden I go to Santa Monica High where it's all these little cottages.
Yeah.
And my first day there, I walk into this parking lot, and all of a sudden I see all these cars in there, like Mercedes and BMWs, and I'm like what the hell are they? And then I see these like kids my age getting out, and because when I went to school there was no Malibu High, so all those rich kids from Malibu went to Santa Monica High.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now I'm seeing like all these cars, and everyone's like whizzing by me on like skateboards, and they're wearing shorts, and they got long blonde hair, and everyone's much taller out here, and everyone's smiling, and I was like, what the hell is this place, man?
He's like, I ain't used to that.
Yeah, because I was used to, New York, when you get to talk to someone one-on-one, they're very honest and very direct.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's no like talking, like here people walk up, say, hey, how's it going? How you doing? And like you don't do that in New York. If someone says that to you there, you think they want something from you. Right. So I wasn't used to this kind of like sort of friendliness. Like
Wow.
in New York, it's like I said, they're good people. Like if you need them and you're in trouble, they're there for you. But they're not going to ask you how you're doing or anything. Or, when they walk, they got their head down. They're walking. They're in their own world.
It seemed like it's real fast paced.
Yeah, very fast paced.
Everybody got something to do. Like, yeah,
definitely. I mean, to me, this felt like I was on like in a convalescent home when I first came out here. I'm like,
Dang, the pace was that slow.
it was that
like
slow.
That slow.
And then when I hear people go, California, Los Angeles is too fast paced for me. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
So in New York, you don't leave your house to go out till midnight. Out here, I like.
Because in the movies, it looks like it's fast paced.
Yeah, I mean the bars are open till 4.
Wow.
And then they stay open till
yeah.
5 and 6. I mean,
Well, out here, man, they close that
they
too.
close at a certain time because it's gonna get cracking.
It's probably better off actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
And I'm saying certain areas. I think Santa Monica is cool.
Yeah.
They should up the time to about like 4 or 5 too out there. It's pretty safe.
My grandma always said nothing good ever happens after midnight, so you might as well get your butt home by then. She used to say that to me. Get home by midnight, nothing good happens after that.
You still do you still often go visit back home?
Yeah, I go. I used to go twice a year. Now I'm sort of going once a year. But my dad's still out there, and he's getting up there. So I need to get out there again. To be honest with you, I go about once a year.
Okay.
Visit my father. He's still out there. I've been trying to get him out here for.
Yeah, I was about to
Dad,
He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
He won't
like,
leave.
nah.
He's in his 80s. And he will not leave New York.
He's set in his ways. He like, no.
So he's a straight
He's
New
not.
Yorker. Like, nah.
Oh yeah, he just comes out and he just starts bagging on California. And he's like, man, this place never changes. It's the same. It's the same sign. It's the same this. The same.
See, that's where you get your shit
really?
talking from. So
Come
I'm
on,
saying,
New York,
Oh
though?
yeah.
Wow.
That's definitely where it's because his mom is sweet.
yeah. And why, man? So why you not a Giants fan? I'm like, what?
I just never liked the Giants, man. I liked LT.
That's what I was about to
Taylor
say,
was my
yeah.
guy. I liked him, but I was a Jets guy. My dad loved Joe Namath.
I was
remember
about to say
being a
Joe
little kid.
Namath. Yeah.
And the Jets, there's something endearing about like following a loser team. It's like you always wait for them to turn around.
Is that why you also chose the Mets over Yankees?
Same thing, yeah.
Okay.
The Mets were like, I guess the Mets were like the Clippers in a way.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're like the Clippers
But the
in New York.
Clippers are not. Nobody seems to like the Clippers out
No.
here.
Well, the difference is the Mets have won championships.
Yeah,
the Clippers
won,
have never.
yeah, the Mets have won 2, 69, 86.
Yeah.
But they not on the level of the Yankees, right?
Oh no, Yankees.
No, Yankees are like-
Yankees like the Lakers.
They're like one of the top franchises in the world
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
No, Yankees have won the most World Series
in baseball, period.
yeah. They're like the Boston Celtics, I would say. They've got that history.
Yeah.
They've won that many. They started out like that, like they had that
that's
dynasty.
Oh, you talking about like back then?
No, if you're making basketball comparisons,
Yeah,
I would
if you're
say
doing
like
analogy.
Yankees are like Celtics, Dodgers are more like Lakers.
Yeah,
I would say.
but not as good as the Lakers. With Dodgers only won a few.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying like in
But-
terms
but,
of
yeah.
to the world.
Because a
Gotcha.
lot of
Everybody
people
knows.
love the Dodgers.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. So the Mets are like the Clippers. That's yeah.
But the Mets have
the
won
Mets are
championships.
like the
Yeah.
Clippers, but the Mets have heart and the Mets have fans.
And they have championships.
Yeah, they've won a couple of titles, and the Mets started out being the worst team. They lost out of 160 games the first season, they lost 120.
Yeah,
Damn.
man.
I mean, that's beyond
Yeah, that's
breaking records for futility. So they were the lovable losers.
Damn.
And I remember, so were you in New York when they had the Subway series? Because I watched that year.
No, I was actually out here for that, and somehow
Okay.
that bombed. Like it didn't do well ratings wise.
Yeah.
No one outside of New York was interested.
And that was a World Series for
Yeah.
it.
That was
Yeah,
between
Mets
the
and
Mets and
Yankees.
Yankees played in the World. So it was a World Series
That was
all
like
in New York.
Was that
That's crazy.
2000?
Yeah, I was like 12 years old at the time, and it was
12 years old.
Yankees demolished them.
How old I am.
They didn't stood a chance.
That's wisdom, man.
You
That's
guys are getting younger, and I'm getting older.
That's
Nah, you
wisdom.
getting younger
Nah,
too,
man.
Tom.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, I love.
Balling like you was, you getting young.
Yeah, but that basketball was my refuge as a kid. Like I grew up, I love my parents dearly, both of them. But growing up, we didn't have I wasn't a happy household. They were always kind of fighting. My father was an artist, trying to make a living as an artist, and my mom was very much like, okay, let's go. You got kids, you got to make that money.
Yeah.
Forget the art. So she didn't quite get him, and he didn't really get her. So anyway, there was a lot of fighting going on in the house, and right across the street there was a little basketball hoop, like one of those New York ones
yeah.
that don't have any chains or nets on them. And I was going, and that would just be my little thing. Like in the movie, what was that great movie with Spike Lee and
He Got Game.
I know what you're talking about. He Got Game.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
right outside his apartment, they had that place.
So it was like that.
For me, it was. So I was always shooting. Like I mean, I could still shoot, and I got the handle, but the knees aren't quite there.
It's like those movies you see at like Rucker Park and
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Bud around.
cats playing, street
like
ball.
that. Yeah.
Like that one that I that posted me. Did you see that one where I do that spin and I missed that layup? But I did that. But anyway, that was at West 4th Street, which is a famous basketball court in the middle of the city. They call it the Cage, and it's cement, fiberglass backboards, but it's got like it's got a little like a pothole there. The court's like dangerous to play.
Wow.
But pros have gone there, like all the greats have played in this little small court.
Wow.
If you ever go to New York, go to West 4th Street, and that's where I was doing my thing.
What would you say? Like, was a piece of stuff popping like before you left, like with New York? Because I know y'all known for having the best pizza.
Oh yeah, I mean, the food there is amazing. You cannot get in Manhattan. You cannot get a bad meal.
And I think the only time, because I've been to New York once, I had a pizza in Brooklyn. I don't know the name of it, but it was like
Monstrous.
best pizza I'll probably tasted my whole life.
Yeah, I mean, they have many theories why it's better there. They say it's the water, it's the cheese. I don't know why, but it's just way better. And every time I go to these places that say New York pizza, I go and try it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you.
I'm like, this is cardboard, man.
Yeah, 'cause you be like, oh, this piece is.
So what's close, or like what's as close pizza wise out here to New York? You would say, because I know you'll know.
In Westwood, they have a place called La Monica's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys remember the show Taxi?
I
Tony
remember
Danza.
Yeah, I remember it.
His mom owns that place, and it's called La Monica's Pizza in Westwood. That's New York pizza.
so
And
it's
that's the
close.
best I've tasted
So
here.
in Westwood.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in
so we
Westwood,
gotta go
isn't
to
it?
Westwood to try that
La
out.
Monica's.
Yeah.
Just gave him a shout out.
All right.
All right, okay.
coming.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a quick break, man. Also, shout out to our sponsors, the Legato Collection, man, for sponsoring the show. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages, you guys.
All smiles, no trouble. If you rollin' with me, ain't no nigga like me. I'ma show you, baby. I'ma make you mine. All smiles, no trouble. If you rollin' with me.
What did I fucking tell you? Get it done. Get it fucking done, huh?
Mr. Cooper. You know, you've been playing your music way too loud. I think it's time you bring it all the way down.
Oh, yeah, why's that?
Because it's bad for business. And if it's bad for our business, it's bad for you.
Oh, you guys are a fucking joke, you know that? I know for a fact that the Russians kicked your asses out of New York last year, right? So don't try any of that fucking greaseball guinea shit with me, okay? And I don't give a fuck what you spicks or what you fucking guineas do in New York, Vegas, Mexico, wherever the fuck you come from. And in LA, I call the shots. Capiche? Now fuck off.
Hey, motherfucker! You come in here and disrespect me in my fucking place, I'll cut your fucking eyeballs out and eat them like grapes, you motherfucker! Fuck him! Turn me loose. Turn me loose.
Hold on, Mr. Ragazzi, I apologize. I was, no disrespect. It's a long day out there.
Fucking sorry. Do me a favor, okay, Cooper? Yes, sir. When you go out there, be careful. It's fucking dangerous. You hear me?
Yeah, okay.
And do me another favor. Get the fuck out of here!
Get him out of here!
Brother Jay Fifth.
What up, what up?
Today we got our guest, Mr. Tom Alper. Jazz, you want to pick it up where we just were?
How you feeling, Tom?
I'm feeling a little more relaxed. I was nervous at the beginning. I didn't know
Don't
what
be
you guys were
nervous.
gonna hit me with.
You
It's
good.
family, man. You good.
Yeah, man.
So, I do want to talk about more of like when you moved from New York. Like, how was that experience?
Yeah.
When you were 17, like
yeah.
how and the laws and everything.
Sure. So back then, I'm gonna date myself. There was no laws prohibiting mothers from just taking their kids and moving anywhere. You can take them out of state. You can go different country, and fathers had no rights then.
Wow.
The year after I moved, they changed it, and where a mom could not take their kids out of state unless they got remarried or there was a specific financial hardship with a career job waiting. But even that was sort of a gray area. So my dad, unfortunately, was on the other side of that. So when my mom, who was kind of just had been fed up with New York, wanted to change, and her brother, my uncle, who was out here, he was a songwriter. And he told her, he really built it up. Oh, man, it's paradise out here. You gotta get out here. It's incredible. The beach. So my mom kind of followed him. And my dad put up a fight, but there was only so much he could do. So my mom was like, all right, well, I'm going. So you could take him if you want. And knowing that my dad was living in a place, I know you guys can't see this studio. It's freaking amazing, but it's very small. And my dad was living in a place maybe small in this studio with a bathroom. So he was like, no, I can't get two grown teenagers in here. So we were off to New York and California. And my brother went first, and I was trying to hold out. I was fighting it. So I refused to go. So I was just bumming off all my friends trying to stay there, bringing my little suitcase. And my buddy, he would pick me up on his bicycle. Yeah. And we'd be going down, like, imagine Wilshire Boulevard, like, on a bicycle with a suitcase on my head. Oh, damn. Cars flying by. Wow. And then finally all my friends had it with me, and then I had no choice but to come out to old Paradise, Santa Monica, California.
Sheesh.
And I hated it first. I mean, I could not connect with any of these well, first of all,
Californians.
Californians.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Was you kind of mad at your mom at first?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
kind
a
of
lot
like
of anger.
Putting me in this position.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, this ain't home.
Exactly. And she kept saying, well, I offered you, I told your dad he could keep you. I go, yeah, but that's not the solution. It wasn't like one or the other. It was just,
Right.
But she had to do what she thought was best for her, her mental health. She was struggling out in New York, and she needed a change. So.
Yeah. And no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so just curious, with all that going on, were you ever at a point where you wanted them to fight to get back together? You want your family to be back together?
That was more when I was younger. My parents split when I was 12. So when my mom started dating guys, I wasn't having it.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, so you was like that son.
I was a little asshole kid.
Yeah.
I remember somebody would knock at the door, a date, and I'd open the door, and I'd shut the door in his face. I walk by.
Did he ring the doorbell again?
No, the guy's name was Leon. I'll never forget it. I go, Leon the loser's here.
He was an asshole, man.
Oh my God.
Nobody get close to moms.
One time,
That's like movie stuff.
one
Like
time
seriously.
a boyfriend took us to a baseball game, and my mom was sitting next to him, and you know, cutting up. He's putting his arm around her, and my mom's laughing at all his bad jokes. And I'm like, this isn't my mom. That's not her laugh. It was making me sick. So in the sixth inning, I say, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I decide I leave.
Yeah.
No, I left the stadium.
Wow.
And I took 2 trains home. And back then, there was no cell phones then. So I started realizing maybe this isn't a good idea what I did.
That's a Gemini in you, Tom. That's
Yeah.
that Gemini in you.
So you was at Shea Stadium?
Shea Stadium. Sure enough, they know that, they're calling the cops. Want to know, like, they thought maybe I got kidnapped.
Wow.
So that was the maddest I ever saw my dad when he came and saw, my mom called him,
Wow.
and yeah, I got in trouble for that one. But yeah, and I'm getting payback now because this woman I'm dating, my girlfriend, she's got a daughter, great daughter, beautiful young lady, but she's doing a little bit of what I did. So
that's karma.
Dang,
it's
karma.
coming back. So I'm not taking it personally, but I was like, damn, is that what I did?
Trying to protect moms.
Yes.
Exactly. So it's coming around.
Do
full
it offend
circle.
you, or do you
Well,
get mad at first and then you kind of think like, shit, I was doing that too?
No, well, at first I try and act like, I'm above it. I know what she's doing. But then I'm like, damn.
Think about it.
You could smile once when I come. Am I that bad of a guy?
You seem like you would ask her that too.
Huh?
You seem like you would ask her that. Like, am I that bad of a guy? Like,
Yeah, but she's starting to warm up to me because she's in. She goes to one of the biggest performing arts schools in Los Angeles, LACSA, and they just did a student film. And for 2 or 3 years, I've been asking to be in her little videos, and she's like, nope. And then she finally cast me in something.
Yeah.
And she sent me a text. She said, it was pretty funny. She goes, I know you've been wanting to be. She's only 15. And she
Yeah.
goes, I know you've been wanting to be in one of my projects for the longest. Well, now your time has arrived. We have a part for you. It's the part of a criminal who carjacks someone and then gets killed at the end. I'm like, that's the part that you see me in? I'm like, okay.
Now,
And then
Tom,
she goes, one thing, you're going to have to do a self-tape. And I'm like,
Oh
what?
yeah, you're gonna have to
I
audition.
got to audition for this? So
That's funny. That's cute.
So I'm not saying my acting career is not going well, but
yeah.
but when you got to audition for your girlfriend's
15-year-old.
wow.
That's funny
in
as
trouble.
hell, man.
That is
Humbling.
hilarious.
But we did it last Sunday, and it was funny watching them because they're talented kids, and they're given all this like great equipment. They have the with the black magic camera, and they're all like they're given all this insane stuff.
Wow.
And they start like they'll do one scene or one take, and then all of a sudden their attention span goes.
Yeah.
Like the kids, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what? And then they start showing each other pictures, and then they're like laughing. They go, "Oh, it's lunchtime. Hey, you guys want to go to the Grove?" And I'm like, "No, that's 2 hours. You can't park." So it's like they didn't have a concept of time. So it was funny watching it. Like these kids are doing a little short film, and then I'm like, you know how I am. I try to keep my mouth shut.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Man,
She
Tom.
told me, Christine said, do not say anything on there, just be an actor. I said, okay, fine. But then I'm watching him, and the other actor, who, because it was 3 14, 15-year-olds that were directing 3 men, because it's about 3 men. And one of the men said to me, he goes, hey, if they don't finish today, I'm done. I can't come back tomorrow. And then, so when I saw that, I panicked. And the other actor was like, well, you know what? Maybe it's better for them because then they'll fail and then they'll learn. But I'm like, no. This is my
I need this. Yeah.
So
I
next
need
thing you know, I
this.
pull the kid aside. I go, this guy's leaving by sunset. I go, we gotta start getting his shots down. So I kind of took over.
Yeah.
And I know I helped him, but who knows?
Now, was the daughter cool when you was doing that, or did she kind of give you a look like?
No, at first she was like, just act. But then what happens, they start showing each other pictures and they start laughing, or somebody texts them and they're giggling. Or like let's say we're doing our scene here, so the camera's on you, and now you're supposed to turn it around on me. All of a sudden I go, okay, now you're supposed to do the close-up. They go, oh, no, we want to try a drone shot on something down there. And then they lose focus. And I'm like, no, you need the coverage here, because when you go in the editing room, it won't be there. And then
You sound like me, brother.
What?
I I feel your pain there.
So I had to do all that in one day so they could finish because I didn't want her to fail because I felt.
Did they ever complete it, the project, or?
Well, yeah, they're editing it now, and they're gonna have a little screening. And who knows? I'm probably gonna be in it for like 5. But I play a guy who carjacks and then tries to rob a bank, and I get shot. So they wanted to shoot me with the squib, and I'm like, no, that's not happening. I mean, I got scared enough when we did the council. And you guys shot me with that in the head. I mean, that scared me. So I'm a little paranoid, with the whole
the situation that just happened.
Yeah, with Alec Baldwin and all that.
Oh yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah.
And you guys, I know in the films, you have a lot of, you do stuff with, exciting things with guns and so forth.
Yeah.
And summer. So is that something that you guys are concerned about?
As far as us, we always check it before we use it.
Right.
Yeah, we check it before.
And test it out and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your take on how a bullet could have got in there? That's crazy, huh?
It was
for that.
It could have.
It
could have just been mismanaged, and also it couldn't have been that well pre-planned, because for you to hit the DP, firing towards the camera, it just doesn't. I mean, unless you're doing like an OTS shot of somebody.
That's what I figure, or straight on shot looking into the camera. That's why I'm,
Which would, for somebody to even get hit, you would think, okay, if it's gonna be directly aimed, because normally even when you see people fire shots in movies, they're not aiming at the person when it's shot from the sides.
Yeah.
So
what a tragic situation.
You gotta check it.
And I love Alec Baldwin, man. He's one of my favorite actors. You remind me of him too.
Really?
Yeah, he's dope. He's incredible, man. He's I think he's very underrated a little bit. He doesn't get the homage that he deserves as an actor.
Did you ever see the movie Miami Blues?
Miami Blues. No, I've heard of it.
He plays a great psychopath in that. Charming psychopath.
He plays that in a lot. Have you seen Malice?
It was another
he's great in that.
Yeah, I love Malice.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I like him in Pearl Harbor and
he's great in everything.
Yeah.
Fun with Dick and
Okay, out the brothers, you think he's the best?
Oh yeah, he's the cream of the Baldwins by far.
Who would you say is second?
You know what? Billy Baldwin was having a good career, and then he just kind of disappeared. So the one who works the most, it seems to be Daniel Baldwin, who looks just like him. He was in my film,
in the film. He was in the film.
Guest House, yep.
Yeah, and he looks a lot like him and sounds like him.
I would say Billy is no shot to him. He's at the bottom.
Why, Pretty Boy? You don't like him?
Nah, I just like Alec, Daniel. And Steven.
Steven's a little bit of a nut. He's turned into kind of a right-wing preacher, kind of. I mean, not that I'm against any of that, but just...
Yeah. So when did you start the acting, since we on acting?
Okay, acting. So one of the things that my dad would do when he would have my brother and I, he would always take us to movies. So that was our thing. We'd go to double feature movies Saturday and Sundays on the weekends. So I grew up, seeing... De Niro and Pacino, and he would take us to like R-rated movies when I was like 12 and 13, and so he exposed me to all these great films, great different genres. And whenever we would be in a movie, I would always look at him kind of, and he was always like so like
locked in.
And I used to think, God, he's paying so much attention to that. I would love for him to be able to look at me like that. Like seem like he would just he'd laugh. It was just like, it was weird watching him. Like he loves the films, he loves movies. So he got me in on that. So I always started thinking, like, if I could do that, if I could be up on them, maybe my dad will look at me that way,
Yeah.
But what I really wanted to be was like a pro athlete as a kid. I thought I could be a baseball player, and then should have stuck with baseball because I was always better.
So you played baseball first?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you saw me in the play when I was swinging that.
What did you? What position? I played baseball too.
Yeah, I know. We took first base. I was a first baseman.
Got it.
Lefty scoop, and I had that sweet left-handed swing.
So you had a first baseman's glove.
Oh yeah, I still have it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
So you was hitting the splits and everything.
Oh, I mean, I was, like I said, I have a great swing. I could still it's just.
Yeah, if you play first base, that means you could rake.
Yeah,
so
I was a great hitter, but I never.
In the play, that's why.
Yeah, my play I did. So, but basketball was always exciting to me. Like when I would go to baseball games, and you guys, you've been to baseball games. It's kind of you're sitting there, it's boring. There's not a lot of action. It's more of a social thing, kind of.
Unless it's playoff time. But
except playoff time. Basketball is like boom, you're into it.
I only been to one baseball game and was like, nah.
It wasn't for you.
It's slow. It's a slower pace than
But the
basketball,
playoffs is
of course.
good, like because you played ball, so you know like how much.
Yeah, well, that's
every pitch is in
every pitch. Well, every at bat counts.
Yeah.
You know, everybody.
But during the season, there's 160 games, and it just drags on and on. So it's like,
And in baseball, unlike other sports, that's one of the only sports where you play like every day.
Yeah.
Even when I played, like we used to play. Sometimes you play 2-3 games
Yeah.
a day, but.
Damn. Even in the pros, 2 or 3?
Well, no,
Yo,
in the
they have
pros,
doubleheaders.
in the pros, sometimes you have double headers. But
Yeah.
yeah, when we played, it was like 2 games a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon.
Wow.
you look like you're
That's
probably
a
like a
lot.
shortstop or a pitcher.
Shortstop.
Yeah, you look
Shortstop
like,
and pitcher.
I used to call him like when we were on the council. My nickname for him was Pretty Ricky. Pretty Rick. He looks like shortstop's always the coolest guy on the team. So
Yeah,
I could see that's what you.
The one with the most pressure, you get the hardest hit balls.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. Wait, what were we talking about? Yeah, so I wanted to be pro athlete, and then when I went to a basketball game, it was funny. He called me Frazier. He was my idol, Clyde Frazier. It was Clyde Frazier, and then it was Dr. J, and of course Jordan, Kobe.
Oh, Dr. J was man.
Yeah, so those are my guys. But now I don't really have anyone. I was trying to get behind Steph Curry, but I love him, but he's just not. He I don't know.
That's how I feel, man.
Yeah.
Now, see, okay, hold on.
I love
Time
him.
out.
But he's not-
Time out. We got to take it there. Tom, you got to.
He doesn't move me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. He
Because
doesn't.
I feel like he doesn't do too much. But
Yeah. No, he's an amazing shooter,
know.
and also in the finals,
One of the greatest shooters, but yeah.
he's had some pretty poor playoff moments there. I mean, when they blew that 3-1 to LeBron, that was bad.
That almost seems set up, but I'll leave it at that.
Come on, Tyree. Don't do that.
No, it was. I mean,
already know the
when,
debate about
when
this
they suspended Draymond Green, that was BS.
Yeah,
that was bullshit.
BS.
But Game 7, though, he was.
Well, that
Steph
last
didn't-
play he made, yeah.
It was pretty bad. But anyway, so I wanted to be because all my friends are playing sports. So the idea of being an actor was like,
In the back of your mind, or just like,
well, I wanted to do it just because of the magic of going to films and the how engaged my dad was in it. But
Yeah.
But if I would say that to my Italian buddies, they'd be like, "Oh, what do you want to be an actor? What do you They'd make some kind of a negative remark about what actors are like. Like
It made me think of The
it wasn't
Godfather.
masculine.
Yeah.
It made me think of the guy, Tony Fontaine on the Godfather.
When he says, when he starts crying and he says,
Yeah.
"Hey, Godfather, what am I going to do?" And he goes, "Be a man." That's what you do. Yeah. So it wasn't until now I come out here and I go to UCLA, and obviously the athletic career is not going to happen. So now I always had this kind of creative side because my family's a bunch of writers. My dad, my uncle, my brother, they've all creative and work professionally and different. My dad published books. He wrote science fiction in his day. My brother Steve writes, and my uncle is a songwriter.
Shout out to Steve, man.
Yeah, Steve Alper.
What's up, Steve?
And,
Mellow Steve.
So anyway, so I was at UCLA, and I had to pick a major. I didn't know what to do, so I always like to
journalism.
read. So I picked
Journalism.
I wanted to do journalism, and then sports writing. But then there was these classes that you had to take as an English major, like Geoffrey Chaucer and Milton, and these things. It's like reading another language. So I mean, it was so like I was like, there's no way I can get through this. Like how. This stuff's too dense for me. And so then a friend of mine said, well, hey, you know what? If you can become a creative writing major, then you could bypass all of these like technical hard classes.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how do I do that? And then they go, well, you got to get in. I go, well, how do I do that? They go, you got to write a story, a short story. I go, I've never written anything. So I go and meet the teacher, and he likes me. Like we're talking, and I'm saying, hey, come on, I need to be, I'm doing my New York thing. I go, I need to get in this, man. And he goes, well, you got to write something. I said, well, can't I just sort of get in and we'll start writing? He goes, no, you have to
Write something.
So I go, when's the deadline? And he goes, 3 days. I said, okay. So I go home, right? And I'm like, I'd never written anything. And I write a story. I had just broken up with his girlfriend. So basically what I did was I wrote a story about a guy, I was playing myself, whose girlfriend dumps him, and now he's got to see her at a party with the guy she dumped him with. And he's got to pretend he's like, talking to her and being nice, but inside he's like,
he's losing it.
I can't believe you did this to me, man. So basically that's what I wrote, like 5 pages of that. And then I got in. So next thing I know, I'm a creative writing major.
Wow.
Okay, but wait, I'm leading to the acting thing. So now my roommate is, he's in the theater department. And I always say, man, I'd love to be an actor, man. It's so cool. And he goes, well, he's like, well, not everybody can do it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So then he finds my short story on the floor, and he starts reading it, and he's looking at it. I remember he's going like this, like, oh shit. And he says, here, he goes, let me hear you read this. So I read the thing, like it's happening, like I got dumped. I see the guy and this and that, and all of a sudden he's got his mouth open. He's like, he goes, you can be an actor. I said, yeah, right. He goes, no, you could do it. He goes, if you could do that, you're as good as anyone else in there. So then they're doing a play, a one-act festival, and I try out, and he puts me in, and I play the lead with this girl. And anyway, I got the acting bug right then. It bit me. It was a live audience, and I got people laughing at me, and I felt the power, and it was like unlike any feeling I'd ever experienced. And I said, this is it. I was gonna go to law school. I was planning to be a lawyer, man. And so this friend of mine, he saved my life and he ruined my life, because now it's 35 years later, and I'm still pursuing this craziness. But it was
Hold it, man, because I want you to expand on that.
Definitely.
We're gonna take another quick break, and we'll be back with my brother Tom, man.
Yes.
Word on the street is you the man. And I ain't talking about no music. On the streets, let you play with her, man. When you think you done with her, she might not be done with you. You need to stop and think about that shit, Frank. You need to stop and think about that shit.
I'm not fucking around here, all right? 3 strikes and you're out of here.
No matter what I do in life, bad luck always follow me, man. Can't win for losing.
Well, you can't straddle a fence. You gotta live your life his way, or you're gonna live their way. Thing is, you have a choice. Opportunity to change. Change gonna come. So it's gonna come if you allow it.
Are you ready to be great? I was born to be more than just a gang member. Is you Frank Blue?
Them streets don't love you no more.
You're thinking about the last time you were home, huh?
Out of my house in the next 2 minutes!
And that's why this go around, that's on everything I love. I ain't gonna do nothing stupid to go back. That's my word.
Streets don't love you no more.
Just left locked up. I just really want to see. I ain't trying to miss out.
How does he make you feel? Like love is real.
How do I talk to him?
Like you talking to me? Oh yeah, he gonna listen. Might be talking to you right now.
All you heard was dirt don't love no more. Raid every block and shot for.
We don't do trends, we trendsetters.
Dr. King, he was love. Malcolm X, he was love. Love in this business will get you killed. You have to set an example. You have to draw a line. When they see that line, and if they cross it, there will be hell to pay. They must know that.
¿Lo tienes?
This is, got up at 4 a.m. to be here at 6. It was dark.
JT, you know, he bring the best out of all the actors.
She ain't saying that's what you gonna be. This was royalty. Boom, slap him. She ain't gonna be. Slap him. No, you don't slap him. She hesitant. Bah! Everybody react. Yeah. Slap him.
So you gonna fire?
Yeah, I'm gonna fire it.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna fire. I'm fire.
So they gonna
That's
jump.
good, because I'm gonna definitely try.
Everybody go.
Well, nobody's over here, right?
It'll be one. The one he no. You bring it this way, so it won't be the line with you.
Okay, that's perfect.
So when I got the gun on him, I'm looking around.
When I bring her right here, right?
Yeah, you just gonna toss her all to the back here.
Stand over here in the cut.
He's excellent. He's great because, first of all, he's a great actor himself, so he knows the process. So he talks to you like an actor, so he knows. I mean, obviously, he expects you to do your homework, but when you're there, he wants it. He wants it to come off very natural.
Okay. Yeah, this will be the real slide.
Are you gonna do? Is it gonna be like the away from or actual contact?
No, actual contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we don't have enough girls, that girl that walked in, she can even just sit down.
Yeah. Okay.
And he can hand her a blunt or hand her the drink or whatever.
We should do that. Yeah, that way.
Very professional. I writer for life. I love writer for life.
Oh yeah, I mean they're great. I mean for me, I came in sort of as felt like an outsider, and after the first rehearsal,
Like family.
yeah, I felt family.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Yes, indeed. So we're back from the break. So Tom, we left off with you talking about how you got into acting. So tell us a little more about the USC. You got a scholarship.
No, but she's right.
You got accepted to USC.
That is correct.
But I know you finished at UCLA. But tell us that whole experience.
So like I was saying earlier, my first dream was to be an athlete, pro athlete, and then that came crashing down. And then I figured I love sports so much. I said, well, and I was always a good writer in high school. I was able to write. I had my kind of like, what do you say, shit talking perspective. And that's all we would do as kids. We just talk shit because, I hated the Yankees. And so all I would do all day is just like kind of rip, make fun of the team.
Playing with fire.
And I would write that. So I thought I wanted to be a sports writer. So I got into USC, which was my, dream to go to SC. I thought, wow, that's a great. So I was told it was a scholarship. So I go down to this orientation. I'm looking at the campus. I'm meeting people, and having a great time. And then all of a sudden I go into the financial aid office, and then they tell me, oh no, it's not a scholarship. It's 2 years. And I'm like, oh. I go, what happens after 2 years? They go, well, then you have to pay $12,000 a year. And now that doesn't sound like that much because now SC is $50,000 a year. But UCLA at that time was $1,000 a year to go, or like $1,400. So I went across town to UCLA. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to SC. I mean, be in journalism. But they said the scholarship was for 2 years. They said if you do well and get straight A's, then we'll extend it. But I was like,
what? We'll get straight
so
A's.
It wasn't what I was told. Originally, I thought it was a full ride, and it wasn't. In retrospect, I could have stayed there and maybe it would have worked out because maybe it would have forced me to work a lot harder. But everything happens for a reason, and UCLA got me to acting, and now I'm still writing. So
definitely.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. So that was I went away from journalism and USC just for strictly financial reasons.
But now you went to UCLA,
Bruins,
and then
I started doing writing,
creative writing.
Yeah, everything with me has always been and plays. I've always been motivated. Unfortunately, is to get out of doing things. Like I noticed that people can't see, but this studio is amazing. Their office, their whole company it's just filled with incredible discipline.
Thank you, we appreciate you.
I mean lines and and they got something in the lobby. It says no excuses. No.
Oh yeah.
No
only solutions.
Only solutions. No progression.
No excuses. Only solutions.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, why didn't I know these guys 30 years ago?
So
I'm very impressed with.
So I want him to expand on the story. So take me to that first play that you did. That feeling when you got on stage, Okay, so the play was called Close Enough to Touch, and it's a purgatory story. It takes place in the New York subway where a woman's about to jump and kill herself, but right before she actually does do it, and now she then wakes up and she's stuck with this like Italian goofball
angry, wise ass guy, and now she's stuck with this guy for eternity.
Yeah.
And they start. So it was one of those plays. So it was two people, and she's like a sweet girl, and I'm this real, rough around the edges kind of asshole with a heart. It's usually the role I always play, an a-hole with a heart. Sometimes no heart.
Ain't that right?
Like in The Council.
Yeah.
But in Frank Blue, my character did have a heart. I let the guy go.
Now let me ask you, that look that you seen your father having, was the crowd giving you that same look?
It was weird because I was not looking at their faces or more at the top of the head, but I could feel their energy. It was it was like I was taking them with them. I was like I was a puppeteer, and they were
everywhere you go.
And it was just an incredible feeling. It's like I never had anything like it. They were laughing, and then it's like I could control the laugh. Like if I wanted them to stop laughing, I said my next line. If I wanted to keep the laugh going, I just waited. So it was stuff that I didn't even know how to do, but all of a sudden in that one moment, it was like coming to me.
Wow.
And and the play was in the round, so there was maybe 100, 150 people in there, but it felt like a stadium to me.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's when you got bit by the acting.
Oh yeah, it was over that. So then right after that, I had 2 months to graduated, and then I said, okay, and then I hit the streets running.
Wow.
And I started studying. Like I'd never studied. I didn't know anything about acting. And my teacher, he actually came to the play, and then he gave me his card after, and I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't know. I thought, I thought he wanted something from me. Like, anytime an older man would come up to me and want something, I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
So now, Tom,
yeah,
I want to ask you, because when I first saw you was in Frank Blue, and I was new to the team too, and it just blew my mind what y'all were doing. Can you take us back to the first few movies you did, and how your growth as an actor has been since that time?
Well, it's interesting because my first 10 years, I wasn't doing much in front of the camera. It was all theater, all stage. I was trying to get in films like Council, Frank Blue.
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, I was a stage actor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now the only way I can get on front of a camera was I was doing student films. So I was doing a lot with USC, AFI. So I have to admit, at first, I didn't like the experience of being in front of the camera because it was, which obviously it's much more. It's really a technical.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about blocking and
stuff, and the sound and the light and hold and do this and do that, and you don't shoot in order and you stop, and so
stage is different.
It threw me. And at first I was like, no, you know what? I don't like this. But on the other hand, I got to get on the screen. So I guess this is what you do. So film acting. I mean, acting is acting. You're still, live in the moment.
Definitely.
But there is definitely a lot of there's a skill, I believe. To film acting. It's much more technical.
And let people know too, Tom, the difference between the stage acting and the film acting, because I've did stage and I know it ain't no rewinding nothing.
There's no rewind.
It's live,
it's one take, it's one shot. But the good thing about it is you have a live audience. It would be almost like a musician who's recording in studio as opposed to
doing it live
in front of people, right? I mean, you're not going to get that same.
You're not
getting that same juice.
Yeah.
But the best part of acting in front of the camera is the relationships you meet with the people, the fellow artists, and the real reward is at the end when you see it on there. Because one thing about a film is it's forever. So your performance is forever.
Definitely.
Theater, a friend of mine would always say, when you do a play, it's like carving in snow. You could have this great performance, you think you're great, but no one, there's no record of it. It's gone. It's only in your head.
Right.
So right now I'm doing my play. I'm trying to get my play going.
Nah, you
ain't
ain't trying.
What?
You ain't trying.
You said what, Tom?
I'm trying. No,
you said you what?
I'm getting my play going.
Yeah,
Thank
there you go.
That's a bad word in here.
We don't say that T word, man. That's a bad word.
All right, sorry. So I'm doing my play now, and
In a dope ass play. I love it.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
And you guys, definitely going to comp you guys to come. So
man, I can't
get
wait.
You down there.
Man, I can't wait.
And what's amazing about it is I'm not a morning person. And like as Jazz can know, when she told me today I had to be here 7 a.m., I'm like 7 a.m.
Hey, I pushed it back a little bit, Tom. I text you like it was late, but I'm like,
do they do
7:30?
Do they do pod? And then I don't know why I was thinking about it because on films I've had earlier calls, but I don't know something about coming to talk at 7 a.m. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, so I'm a person that struggles to get up in the morning. I have low energy. I don't sleep well. But this play, all of a sudden, I'm getting up every morning at 5 a.m. I'm like, I can't wait to get up, and I'm working on it. I'm working on the script, and I'm doing all the producing. And it's like something about doing your own thing, which I'm sure JT you could relate to, and you guys that you're doing your own project.
Yeah,
it invigorates me.
It does,
and all of a sudden, I got this like passion that I haven't had in I don't know, maybe ever.
It's
like I love to act.
Mm-hmm.
But that fact about that I'm acting something that I wrote, it's just weird. So now I'm like, and that's something that theater, I guess, gives you, that the idea of being in front of people. It's the high.
Yeah, and I would have never guessed though you came from the theater first to the film, and that explains why your improv is so elite though.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny about that improv is, so now we're doing some rehearsals on Zoom, and these other actors are starting to improv some of my dialogue. I don't know, all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck are they changing my words for? And I'm like, wait a minute, I better catch myself, you hypocrite. You were the biggest violator of other people's writing.
So listen,
how dare you? How dare? I'm like, what the fuck? You just changed my word.
Hey, so when they do that, Tom, do you like kind of correct them then, or you wait afterwards, like just leave it?
Well, I'm not the director, so I got to keep my mouth shut. But then I pull the director aside and I say, you know what? They're kind of changing a little bit. Now, on the other hand, if somebody improves something I write, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm all for the best. But when someone changes a line, like somebody. Like there's a line in there where I have a guy, he's asking his buddy if he's gonna have sex with his wife. And he's like, hey man, are you guys gonna have sex? Are you gonna finally do the deed? That's the line I wrote. This actor changes it, hey man, are you gonna finally get some ass tonight from your wife? And I look at him like, what the fuck is that? That's not what I wrote, and that's stupid. But I was outraged by that.
And is this the same one I came to see?
Yeah, it is the same play.
Man,
it's the same play.
Yeah,
we
so
check that out.
Anyway,
because I have certain favorite parts, but I don't want to speak on it.
I appreciate it. So again, Jasmine, like what you're saying, and you were in theater,
I did stage. I started off doing a
we all
stage
start.
play.
We all start with that.
So it was different because I think like with stage plays, it's if somebody mess up, they have a line that if they forget their line, you have to fill in automatically.
Right.
Versus with film, it's like, okay, you get to do it over.
When
it's live, you cannot do it over. It ain't cut, let's pause, let's go take a break. So
So your adrenaline is way up when you're doing a play. It's like just being in front of people.
Yeah.
When you're doing a live performance.
Tom, you come in, you can't even tell though. You came from stage, like you literally. You have some people where they how they
kind of yell.
They yell. They do
very
certain
theatrical.
things. But you, when you did like Frank Blue and stuff, and it was like
you didn't have that. Yeah.
In audition, it was like you didn't have that at all.
No, I appreciate that, but like I said, I did theater for 10 years, and then I stopped acting, and then I started doing some more stuff in the camera. And so by the time I got to Frank Blue, I was warmed up. I had done about 6 or 7 projects in a row. So if you'd caught me 6 projects earlier, I might not have got the part. I'm serious. But right away, I just felt a great chemistry with you guys that connected. And when I walked in, but when I went to that first audition for Frank Blue, that felt like a theater to me because there was so many people out in that waiting room, and everyone was so excited and it had that energy. When I walked into the studio where you guys cast. That's where I took my first acting class. 30 years earlier. So where you guys
that
was
a theater, so like a little stage.
I've done so many plays, and that's where I had all my training was it used to be called the Flight Theater, the Richmond Sheffield.
Yes,
now
it's
called the Complex. And that's where you guys do a lot of your casting. So when I walked in there, I was like, man, this is 30 years.
Hey, that was home.
Down.
That's why you end up getting it, Tom.
That's wild.
You went home.
But anyway, it felt like a theater. And you know what? That's where theater really helps you, because when you go in for an audition, you're a brilliant actress. you're always auditioning in front of people. So that theater. That really, because when it comes down to it, and I go in a room, there's 6 or 7 people. That's an audience. So that theater training really helps you. It is one of the best. I recommend that for every actor. If you can do a play, I mean, there's no money in it, and it's it's a lot of freaking work. But it will sharpen your skills for auditioning and for the camera, because your concentration level is it has to be so high.
Yeah,
you get a theater actor. You don't have to give him a lot of takes. He's getting it right away.
Yeah,
he's not blowing his lines.
And with you, I think you just came in with this like fuck it, like
yeah,
I felt it, and I was like
he did that with the council too every time.
Oh no, I love that. I love that character.
Yeah,
I love him. So anyway, just getting back to what you're saying. So now I'm going back to theater, and the reason why is because I wrote this play because in front of the camera I'm getting, I wouldn't say typecast, but I have my niche, and it's usually the asshole, the bitter this, the bitter that, the asshole this, whatever.
What's your dream role?
My dream role is more what I'm writing, is what my play is, which is a guy who's hard around the edges, but also has like.
Because I was gonna say, he is an asshole.
He's an asshole, but he's got a heart, and he's going through some conflict, and he's trying to be a better person, which is basically what I am in life. Is my daily struggle is I'm always trying to not deviate from my morals and principles while facing pressure. That's what my play is really about. My play is about can you maintain who you are, maintain some kind of integrity when you're up against it, when you're feeling pressure in or out.
Absolutely.
Because everyone can be cool and honest, and that's when things are going well.
Exactly.
But when the shit hits the fan, then we see what you really made out of.
And about fatherhood, that's why I love it too.
That's a big part of the play too. And a big thing was which I regret with my daughters, both of them. Shout out to Vanessa
shout out
and
to the
Sarah.
Daughters, man.
Shout out Vanessa and Sarah.
Is I because I wasn't happy with myself, because at that point I wasn't doing anything creative, so I was pushing them to be like straight A students, star athletes. It's like everything that I wasn't doing, I wanted them to do. So I put a lot of pressure on them, and one of them went along with it, and the other one rebelled and said,
because I know one of them was in the guest house.
Yeah, she was. That's Sarah.
Yep.
And Vanessa, she was an actress actually when she was younger. So my play is about that. It's about fatherhood, about trying to treat your kids like, let them be who they are, and not look at them as that they're mini me's. They're reflections of you. No, they're their own entities. And let them live their life.
And if I could attest to that, man, it's I love it because it's a transparent piece, and it's realistic, and it's relatable. For example, just like I'm not gonna get into the
I can't believe you even remembered it, man. I'm touched.
The delivery scene.
Oh yeah.
When he comes to the door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's how I would react as a father.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting watching the scene. I'm like, how is he gonna maneuver?
Right.
Like, how is he gonna act without making the daughter feel some type of way? You know what scene I'm talking about? You know what scene? Or you remember?
I don't know if she was there. Was she there?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
No, I wasn't there for.
So y'all gotta see it.
No, he was there. You were there.
Are you talking about the guest house?
No, not the guest house.
No.
Y'all went to some theater for his play.
I had a stage reading, and you went there, and Tay was in it.
Tay was in it. Yeah.
Tay was in it.
I came by myself.
I was gonna say I don't think I was at that one.
Yeah, I came by myself when Tay was there. Yeah, I came. Okay. But yeah, it was that particular scene.
So basically, I walk in, my daughter and she's like flirting with a guy that looks like a man to me, and I'm
he was
out.
delivering something, just a random, and they sitting talking. I think he started throwing her the pitch. Or
she starts and then I walk in on it, and I fucking freak out.
But his look, like as a dad, look like, what the fuck is going on?
And I can see that in time. I can see the dad look.
It's interesting that you brought that up, because now I'm dealing with the director, and she's a terrific writer, and she's having a little issues with some of the dialogue that the 18-year-old kid is like kind of talking shit back to me. She says, would an 18-year-old kid talk that way to an older guy? And I'm like, this generation.
Nowadays, this generation, definitely they will.
Taking shit like that.
They will. They ain't got no
remember
filter.
some of the dialogue that he was saying?
Yes.
Like he's calling me on like, hey man, he's saying, well, if you're so worried about your daughter, being young, why don't you have her dress young? Look how she's dressing.
Exactly.
He's calling me on shit like that.
Yeah.
And this director's like, would an 18-year-old kid talk to a man? An
And you was like, I'm like, what's your manager name? Like, Tom was on him. He was on his ass. Like,
and then I have the guy say, and this is the line she wants out, but the line when I say, hey, you know what? How about I call your boss and let him know, how what kind of job you doing?
What kind of job you doing?
And the guy goes, hey, bro, come on, man, you're acting like a bitch now.
Yeah.
And she's like, that line's gotta go. I go, no, because he's saying it like, stop acting like a baby. It's not like angry,
it's
like,
not a
bitch.
he's saying it like.
But she's like, no, that line's gotta go, and I'm like, no, that line's staying.
And his character was
That's
already
good
having
tension.
a fucked up day. So imagine coming home seeing your daughter pitching with a random guy.
Yeah, because you still,
I would have lost it. Like, hold up, man.
Like, first
yeah,
of all, what the
because
hell he
you
doing
still
over
see
here?
your daughter is a little, and that's another part of it. Letting go of your child and not they're not a baby. Especially there's a different dynamic with father son, but it's special also with the father daughter.
Father daughter, yeah.
And it's your little girl, and all of a sudden the first time when you see like.
Yeah,
y'all be overprotective.
and
it's overprotective.
It's like touching on like her coming out dressed a certain way. Like, hold up, man, what you
got
on some clothes here?
Yeah.
But I also think too that it's very.
I'm going through that now, Tom.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
It's perfect for our generation too, though, because nowadays in this generation you get like, I don't want to say people kind of trying to silence fathers, but it's almost like when fathers are trying to be protective nowadays, now they're canceling them for it,
right?
Yeah, or they're making it like, oh, he's controlling and abusive.
That's the one good thing about my play. I think it's good is that it takes place in 2007, so it's pre a lot of this movement, and so forth. So it's not politically correct. So I'm getting some pushback saying, well, you can't really get away with this stuff now. I go, what? It's a period piece. So,
yeah.
So I'm hoping that.
And I hope and pray you stick to your guns, Tom.
Yeah, I was gonna say stick to it, Tom. Yeah, because we need more of that. Even when I watch like the Guest House, and people wouldn't say that's politically correct, but we still need stuff like that.
And we're gonna definitely get into that. So right now we're about to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about fatherhood and more films.
Yes, sir.
All smiles, no trouble. If you rollin' with me, ain't no nigga like me. I'ma show you, baby. I'ma make you mine. All smiles, no trouble. If you rollin' with me.
You trust me? Come here. I want to help you ease your anxiety if you allow me to. I think it's magical how kisses slow down time. I can make your spirit move at the pace of the earth when your lips meet mine. Life is so much better when you slow down. You're so in a rush just to go nowhere when the best place to be is right here. Making a positive out of all the negatives.
Hi, I'm Ujima. You must be Lil Dick, huh?
Meet Ujima.
Ujima.
Dr. Rupert?
What is it, Ujima?
Okay, so that'll be 2 junior dicks, whipped cheese, large fry, 2 shakes, small, medium, or large.
You tell me, baby. Let me see if you can guess my size.
That'll be 2 small shakes. Your total is $14.80.
No job and no.
Okay.
Why do I work at Dick's? Because it's convenient. The pay is good, believe it or not, and plus it's in my neighborhood.
That's about your
My experience here is wonderful. Even though I haven't booked any roles yet,
Why don't you sit your ass down?
And when's the last time you had nothing, but still had to grind for it? When's the last time you been hurt so bad?
Justice, I assure you, will be served.
You want to restore the community, you have to restore order and instill fear in the people.
Me and you both know how this ends.
Yeah, we damn sure do know how it ends. It ends here. Because if we don't protect our people and land, who else will? Because it damn sure ain't the church.
Niggas are gonna go out here like me.
That's what they want us to believe. And we're not born monsters. Circumstances, poverty, and pain turns us into that monster.
What up, y'all?
Yeah.
With the Patio PolitiCz.
Yes.
What's good, Josh? Boy, Mill Suave back with my brother J5.
What up?
Jasmine Denise.
What's the deal?
So, Tom, that was amazing what you shared with us before, man. I've seen so much of your work, bro. So much respect, man.
I appreciate it, man. You're a great actor yourself. People don't know it. He's in addition to being a brilliant DP cinematographer, you also you like to get in front of the camera and you do pretty well. In fact, people don't know it, but if the council if the DVD ever comes out with the lost scenes,
man.
We did a scene that never made it to the final cut. I love to, hopefully that would get into the.
We just was talking about that. Tyree was talking about that a couple months ago too.
That was fun, man. Shameless plug. Y'all might see that scene.
And he also wrote another scene that never got filmed. That was a great scene too.
That was fun. Appreciate it.
Anyway.
So Tom, tell us more about the projects, because you was in over 100 different projects, plays, television, all that type of stuff.
So like I said, I started out with theater, and in 10 years I did about, I'm gonna say 20 plays. I would do 2 plays a year. That was always my thing. Do 2 plays a year. Then it was do 1 play a year. Then it's do 1 play a decade. Then it's do 1. No, I'm just kidding.
So what's your methods of looking for them? Looking for plays, like casting sites and things like that.
Well, I'm not looking for that anymore. To be honest, now I'm just writing my own stuff as far as plays.
Yeah, definitely.
Because to get in a play is a pretty. Every time you do what's going on there?
Oh no, that's a blog.
They just
ain't ringing. They just
Yes.
So I'm not used to all this attention.
Oh man, nah,
cool.
man.
Hey, man,
you here in this space, you're gonna get all the attention. This is about you.
Yeah, man. And what we doing is we're giving you your flowers now, man.
What are we doing tomorrow? No, I'm just kidding. But
that's a big step.
So I did plays for 10 years, but to get in a play, it's if you don't know the playwright or if you're not part of a theater group, it's
kind of hard.
Yeah, because you're going to like an open casting call and you're seeing hundreds of actors and you're trying to get in there. So I wrote my own play. It was a play that I've been working on for almost 15 years. It took me to write this play.
Wow.
In fact, I had 2 scenes with me, and I would carry it around in a briefcase. It was kind of pathetic, and people would say, "Hey, what's in there?" I go, "That's my play I'm working on."
Yeah,
as you should.
Yeah, but I had only written 2 scenes.
Yeah,
and I couldn't write. Yeah. I had the outline in my head, but I couldn't finish it.
Now, what was stopping you from was it just an on and off thing you were doing?
Just fear, like everything else that stopped me in my life. Fear.
Yeah.
False evidence appearing real.
Wait, say that again?
False evidence appearing real.
Well, I've never heard it that way.
Yeah.
That's false evidence. Why do you say false? Why is it false?
Because fear technically only exists where you allow it to.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Yeah, that's good.
Interesting. I gotta use that.
And I don't say that from a place of self-righteousness either, because I've struggled with that as well too.
Right.
So
but
we all do.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of
stopped
me, and it's been my biggest obstacle in life is fear. For many reasons.
And I wouldn't guess it though, man. Man. Yeah, you just seem like a daring person.
You move very
it's inspiring.
Confidently, so
it inspires me. Yeah.
No, it's very hard for me. I battle depression all the time. It's hard for me to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
As I'm getting older now, I'm in my hitting my 50s. All of a sudden, I'm thinking, I'm in the fourth quarter here, the back 9.
You look good, man.
Man.
No, but you start thinking about these things as you get older. When I was your age, young man, I would think, you think you're gonna live forever, but you're not. You start, your body starts slowing down, and anyway,
it's just a shift, Tom. It's a shift.
It's a shift.
So speaking on depression, do you feel like what you go through in like your daily life and like getting older is where the depression comes from? Because we, here at the patio, we're strong on mental health and just shed a light on like the depression and where that comes from.
Well, for me, I mean, it's hard to say because there's many theories. There's, is it genetic? Is it environmental? I mean, there's a lot. So I think in my case, it's environment and also some genetics. So, which I didn't tell you guys, both my parents are therapists. My father is a psychoanalyst, and he's been in private practice for 40 years. My mom's a psychotherapist. So I grew up with therapist parents too. So I've been in therapy. I'm in therapy now.
Oh, that's good.
I've been in therapy like half my life. So to me, going to therapy is like, it's very normal. Even though there's a stigma on like, there's something wrong with you. You get some counseling.
I think everybody needs some counseling.
Right. So for me, I just think I think part of it is that there could be a little bit of an imbalance, like serotonin, but a lot of it is just, I don't know. It's just kind of what's happened to me, my childhood, and it's really sort of dictated. I know that's an excuse, but it's it's really dictated kind of my adult life and a lot of the choices I've made and a lot of because of some of the traumas that I went through when I was younger. It scarred me. Like my whole big thing is I'm one of those fight or flight people. Like when something happens, I just react. I react to fight, and like I don't have that like you seem to have this real kind of. Yeah, I remember I spoke to your father. And I said, I go, he's such an impressive man. I go, he's so poised, and he's like so. And then I met your dad, and I started talking to him, and I was like, okay, I see that's where you got it. And I follow your father on Instagram, and he's always putting these quotes out there. And I'm like, is he writing this stuff? Or is he just? But it's pretty poignant, pretty powerful stuff. So. So I've always been a reactive person, which helps me being an actor. It's perfect. It's perfect for acting because I'm in the moment. I'm in the moment in life. Problem is I'm too much in the moment in life, and it can cause problems with relationships. I react too much, and I pushed away people, my women, friends, and family. So sometimes I kind of blow up a little bit. I'm much better now than I was, but I had to learn the hard way. But I would be one of those people where I'd get upset and I'd blow up, and then I'm like, oh yeah, guys, I'm sorry, man, it's cool, right?
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
everyone would be looking at me like, no, it ain't cool, man. Well, no, it isn't cool. And I'd be like, what's wrong?
Did a 360.
I go, it's over with. I'm fine. They go, yeah, you're fine, but I'm not fine. Being around this. So I've had to learn how to deal with that. So I have this kind of personality, like I said, where I'm sort of an all or nothing person. I'm never like in the middle.
Me
I'm
too.
either really up or I'm really kind of down. So I have gone on some medication and I didn't like it. It kind of, people around me, pardon me?
It kind of messed with you, the medication?
Yeah, some sexual. But some of the people around me liked it. Like my family, like, okay, you seem calm, but I felt like I was just like floating
almost,
autopilot.
Like I was lobotomized. Like I had no feelings. And then I tried to act, and I felt like shit. I can't. Like I had to do some crying, and I was on I couldn't do it.
Can't pull it
because I'm not sad now. I'm just like everything's cool.
Just float.
So I go back, and then so I try and do exercise and. Really, this play has been unbelievable because right before I started to try and do this play, I was like, "Oh God, I can't get out of bed." Or I wake up like at my age, I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and a lot of times I'll see it and I'll go, "Oh no, it's 4:00. I only got 3 hours left to sleep." Now I'm waking up at 2 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and I go, "Shit, I wish it was morning already so I can get going." So now it's like an opposite thing.
Right.
So I'm inspired. I'm inspired right now. Man. So I think that's for me the key is to you got to find something that gets you moving in life. I believe something that gets you. You have to have a reason to get up in the morning.
Exactly.
Now, when I had kids and I was raising them, you got to get up. You got to take care of your kids.
Exactly.
But then my kids grew up and went away to school, and then I was like, "Fuck! Now what's my purpose now?"
Right. What's your why? Wow. Getting up, knowing your why.
That's incredible, Tom. Well, you know what, Jay? I want to ask. Can you give him a round of applause?
Yeah.
I want to give Tom the flowers now for that, brother, because you're on a platform right now where you're sitting in the room with people who are suicide survivors, people who have been through different kinds of depression, mental health. Even when I had my personal episode on here, I got into that as well too, and that's important to hear others because when we're dealing with that stuff, we all kind of think we're alone in that world.
Right, you feel like something wrong with us.
And you, I mean,
Totally not.
you referenced. I noticed the first thing I picked up on that you said was you were talking about, guys get my age, and I noticed that we all tend to have that one trigger that we kind of lean on. It's like, is it my age? Is it where I'm at in life?
Yeah.
Is it because the circle of people I'm around thinks that I should be here and I'm the outcast, and it's like I don't want to be this way.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be a good person. Yeah. And most of the people, I said this before, not to get too much on a tangent, but the fact that like when you're depressed, it's the same as like a man trying to explain to a pregnant woman it ain't that bad when you could never experience what that person is going through, because your struggle and our struggle ain't the same.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's why I think it's important to acknowledge that, because for you to write a play, man, for you to do all this just awesome work in films that we've seen, bro, I would never know any of that. I mean,
I'm a real.
When you come to the set, I mean, I appreciate the props you give us, but when you come to the set, I'm like, oh, Tom is coming today. Like it's
because I'm excited.
Dial it in.
I mean, I live to act. I mean, that's the only thing in my life that gives me that kind of that juice. That used to be
bring it
like in sports. When you played, you were a football guy. You were baseball, basketball. When you would hit that basket and you get that big hit, that rush you get.
Yeah, rush.
Triple.
Yeah. The only way I get that now is when I get to be working with you guys or doing my play, when I get to be in front of the camera. It's like because it's really about connecting to someone to me. That's what I love about acting is that you can meet someone. Like when I shot the scene in the council, Ariel, I never knew who she was, and then we shot that wait, was that her name? I hadn't met her, but now we're doing this scene where I'm basically I gotta kill her. And then we're going through this horrible thing, and I'm meeting this other person. The next thing you know, it's like we were in a creative foxhole together.
The council.
So I feel like I'm almost connected to this person for life. Like we spent these 4 hours in this room recreating this crazy scene. That's maybe a minute on camera. But now I feel like if I ever see her again, I'm connected to her like we did. So that's the thing about, I believe, acting is that it's really about.
That's how I feel.
That's how I feel like we connect with you.
It's really, you get to correct. Even though it's imaginary, it's real. You get to connect to someone on a real intimate level, and that lasts. So, and that's what the older I get, what I'm as far as depression. The only thing that ever really gets me out of depression is when I stop talking about myself and when I start connecting to someone else. Like if I'm feeling depressed, I would say, I call, hey JT, tell me what's going on with you. Or how's your kids? And then by me listening to you, I'm not dwelling so much on my own sadness.
Your own sadness.
It's like, because that's really what I believe life's about is the relationships and connecting with people.
Absolutely.
And that's the only thing that really pulls me out of my depression.
And I think that too feeds your methods in acting as well. Just is it therapeutic for you? Because I know for me it's that when I'm.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel so great when I finish doing a scene or a take, and I'm like, damn, and it's over. And I always have such a crash the next morning.
Yeah,
like when I finished doing Frank Blue and the council the next day, I was so depressed, man. I was like, what am I gonna do now?
Hey, you be tapping in. So Tom, tell me this: do you consider yourself a method actor? Because you can tap in and then tap out.
Well, you did something.
You just
you did something. You're a fantastic actress yourself, and you did something which I wanted to ask Jasmine, who, by the way, you guys need to check out.
Eugene
Village. Funny, beautiful.
Thank you, Tom.
That's a great show,
love Tom.
and that needs to be picked up somewhere. That needs to be on. JT needs to sell that and let go of some of your control. But we'll talk about that another time. JT loves to have,
Tom on the
I'm
bike.
working on
But
it.
I'm telling you, but nah, for real, Tom, like your acting is like you go switch. Like everybody's not considered a method actor.
Right.
You can just snap into something so fast.
Yes.
Like I tell JT, like he's a method. Like when y'all when y'all can tap in and then tap out, and it's just like, do y'all be needing that? What is it called? Like when you gotta have like after you snap out of the mode,
what I call like a debriefing.
Like a
emotional
debriefing
recovery.
and stuff like that. Emotional recovery for certain things. Like, do you?
Yeah,
do you consider yourself that?
I mean, I never thought of it to articulate it that way, but I think that actually makes sense. What you said about, I don't know why I'm able to snap into it. I just think it's like automatic. It's like it's an automatic pilot. You know, you're sort of connected to the character and to the moment. So then when you say go, you go.
Yeah.
And then when it ends, it stops. It's like it fits with my fight or flight personality, which is where it's like I can ignite myself. My fuse gets lit, and then it sort of deflates.
And I believe I know that's why our chemistry.
Yeah.
We all or nothing.
I love acting.
Yeah. So it's all or nothing with us every take.
But what I was going to say about Jasmine, which she did something which was amazing, which I wanted to ask her. She was doing one of her Instagram videos, and she was giving a little acting lesson about, okay, here's how I cry. And all of a sudden, do you remember that? So you.
Damn.
Yeah, it's one of the old videos.
No, but she did in the car, and she's talking. So now, how did you? I was going to ask her, how the hell did you do that? So she's talking, and I go, and then she goes, I'm going to show you how to cry. But you didn't tell us how you did it.
Yeah.
And then she just cries.
You said the same thing. JT was like, but you didn't give us.
You didn't give us the. Yeah, you didn't give nobody the.
I'm like,
she
yeah,
just
you're
cried,
right.
and then she ends, and she's like, all right, guys, have a nice day. I'm like, wow, wait, how'd you do that? You know, so I would ask you that same question, like, how did you get into like, okay, the tears are gonna come down my eyes, and now they're not.
Tom, that goes back to when I was younger, in the mirror, looking at myself and talking to myself and making myself cry and going to certain places, and then that's just when it happens.
So you are going to places then. It's not like a technical, because there are some actors who like, they'll teach you what to do with your eyelids. And,
put some eye drops and do this
and that. But
some lemon and I don't.
Oh shit! I just pulled this out.
Oh, right there, Tom. Here.
It's his headphone. Other side.
Yeah, you can take it up.
Am I back on? Oh,
yeah, there you
are back.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
you are back, Tom.
Back. So we're talking about what techniques? We're talking about depression. We're talking about fatherhood.
We're talking man, how is it being a father?
I mean, what I always say is, what I'm learning now is my legacy is not. I always thought my legacy would be, hey, if I could be a great artist, I could be a great actor, I could leave something for my kids. But now I'm realizing my legacy is my kids. It's not these roles that I'm doing. It doesn't matter what I do. The people are going to know I'm here is going to be. Well, actually, I am in some movies that hopefully are going to keep going.
Oh yeah,
up.
they
but
definitely
still,
that's a given. But
yeah, but still,
the council's not going anywhere.
Right. So, but I believe that my legacy is my children. So that's how
I believe that's part of your legacy, though.
That's part of it.
Man, you got house guests, the council, man.
Guest house.
Yeah. Guest house. But guest house, Frank Blue, the council, man.
I got a lot of projects there. You look me up. I'm all over Amazon there.
But it's just, and not only that,
buried
it speaks
in the
about,
backyard, all that stuff.
Yeah. You just show integrity as a person, man. Like, you're inspiring.
My ex-wife wouldn't agree with that, but go ahead.
I feel that's just the life of a method actor, man. We wild.
No, I mean, we have to. Like I always say, my favorite line I always say to myself is, I go, live in the moment. I always say, live in the moment.
You have to.
This is the first time this is ever happening. It's never happened before. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
And see, you was nervous at first, man.
What, with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to go another couple hours. What we got? We haven't even got to the good stuff yet.
Thomas.
Man. Well, you know what? I had a question for you, especially on the topic of fatherhood, because I don't have any kids yet, and I've heard from Jay and others who do. When you have, what I've noticed is for men in particular, when you have a daughter, and then when you have that first child, what is that switch like? Especially, like describe how you felt about life right before you had that child, and then after that child, like what changed, especially for your artistry and just everything.
Sure. So for me, the day my daughter was born, first one, it was like it stopped being all about me. Now it's about someone else.
Yeah.
And you have this little thing that you want to take. You're going to take care of, and it's really interesting because with your children, I could open my heart up and let them see exactly who I am, and I'm not afraid that I'm going to get rejected. Like when I was with relationships with every woman I've ever been with to the present one, I'm never really totally myself with them. I'm always sort of a little bit like on guard, or I have moments up and down. We have great moments, but there's moments I'm never really, because I'm always afraid. Like if I really show a person who I am, totally, they're gonna leave me. Right. That's always been a thing with me. The fear that you said.
But we all struggle with that.
So, but with your children, you don't have that. You're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's gonna be an awful analogy, but like when you have like a pet, a dog, you know, like your dog loves you because the dog doesn't care how you are, how old you are, how rich you are. This and that. They love you. If you show them your heart,
nurture it,
they'll give you your heart, and that's how your children are. So for me, I felt like it was all about, you know, like giving to someone else, and then the love that you get from your children is like is unlike anything. It's I equate that to
it's a love unquestioned, man.
Yeah,
from a child. Yeah, unconditional love.
It's unconditional and it's pure.
A love never felt before.
Yeah, and it's so it added depth and meaning to my life.
So was there any particular difference in having girls though? Because I know both of you have girls.
Right. I don't have. Well, no. You have a son.
I have a boy. Yeah.
You have a son.
I have 2 girls and a boy.
I don't have a son. I always said I wanted one, but you know, I'm very happy with my daughters.
Yeah.
But, you know, every dad kind of wants, you know, would like to have their like junior and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm always like a little envious, a little bit when I see someone's son. I'm like, you know, he's playing cat. That's why I raised my daughters. I raised them like boys.
Softball,
I didn't know. I had them like being little athletes, and I was their coach and stuff. And it was like,
and they was good in that.
Oh yeah. Both of them were like terrific. But the youngest one, which is based on my play, she was going to make varsity in 9th grade. They were like scouting her in 8th grade. They wanted her, you know, they were scouting her to play varsity. And then as soon as she gets there, she goes, nah, I don't want to play. I want to be a cheerleader. And then I was like, whoa. And I freaked out when I saw that little outfit. And I went to the first football game, and I'm seeing all the dads looking at her and all the little kids. I'm like, what the fuck? This is a nightmare. What the fuck happened to my little girl? This ain't right.
That's how it is in the play. That's exactly how it is in the play. And Tom can attest to this, man. Like, it's just a daughter's love is different. It's different. It's just next level, and I think
they get your heart. They know how to pull it. They know how to work you.
Yeah,
you know, your son's like, I'm not, but I would imagine he's a lot of smacking them around, like you know,
keeping them tough.
But with girls, you know, they get your heart.
They get your heart. They get your
and
heart.
They break your heart.
Yes.
They fucking break your heart when they get older.
I heard that too.
And they break your bank account too. That never stops. I couldn't wait for my daughter to turn 18 because that's when the child support stopped. So I thought, I'm paying that more out now. It seems like now that they're over 18, trying to help them through school and so forth.
Yeah.
So it never stops when you got kids. The money train.
Yeah.
So. What else we got?
Those are the, I wouldn't say downsides to parenthood, because it's like I'm not anticipating a heartbreak, but I know it's like, especially if they get with somebody you don't.
First time you see it with a boy, you're gonna have that stupid look in your face. And I hope I'll be there to see it.
Hey, no. So you know what, Tom? Can I ask you a question on that then? So, can you? I don't know if you can tell us, but about when your daughters brought home a boy, how was that?
Okay. I've gotten better with it, let's just say.
Yeah.
Like, every time she brings my oldest daughter is married now, and she's got 3 kids, so I'm a grandfather 3 times over, so thank you. I know, it's hard to believe a guy who looks as good and as a grandfather I am. But, so she's got a great husband. My youngest daughter has had a bunch of, some boyfriends.
Yeah, the rebel.
And one guy she brought home, I don't know what it was about this guy, because he was a nice kid. I mean, but there's something about this generation where they're a lot more familiar talking to you than when I would date a woman and I met the father, I couldn't look him in the eye. I'd be like, oh shit, because I know he knew that I'm having sex with this little girl, and I don't even want to look at you. And I would say, Mr. Sir.
Yeah.
This kid was like,
it's no respect.
Well, he wasn't doing meanly, but he was like calling me Tommy and hey Tommy. Well, and I know those people call me that are in New York, and
or somebody that know you, somebody that's
Tommy. And I'm like, And then one time she wanted him to stay over. Because he came over for dinner and it got late, it was raining, said, can he stay over? And I said, yeah, well, he's got to sleep on the couch. So here's what I say to the guy. I say, you can stay over, but, you got to stay on the couch. And I don't want any of this, joke. I'm sneaking in. And here's what he says to me. He goes, no problem. He goes, but if anyone's going to be sneaking in, it's going to be your daughter sneaking in to see me.
Oh, wow.
Like, this guy looked like, did you just fucking
Tom,
see it?
He would have been out the door. I don't care it's raining. Get your ass out.
That is some new generation stuff, man.
I'm telling you, man.
My grandparents would have had a shotgun to his
Yeah, that's.
Now
Yeah,
my
I
daughter,
can never
my
see
daughter
myself.
was 20.
Yeah.
So and then she was going to be 21, and he asked me my advice. He said, "Hey man," he goes, Tommy. He said, "We talked about that. It's Tom." He goes, "Yeah, sorry." And he says, "So your daughter's 21st birthday's coming. So, any ideas for a good gift for her?" I said, "Yeah, why don't you get her a spa treatment? All kids like she likes that." I'm sorry. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I was thinking about more like getting a nice hotel by the beach so we could have like kind of romantic weekend. Like any good ones you know?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You think my job is to help you get laid with my daughter?
Yes.
I'm like, what the fuck? So thank God that guy's gone.
Definitely.
And she has a new man, boyfriend, and apparently he's a great guy. I haven't met him yet, but I will soon. She's down or in San Diego, living there. So
definitely.
So JT, you will be going through this.
Man, yeah.
It's gonna break your heart, but hopefully
man.
How old's your daughter?
She's getting ready to be 8.
Oh, 8. Oh, you got time.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, I'm preparing. So I'm like, oh shit.
Well, Jazz, you must have known. Like the first time you started dating, right? It had to be hard for your family or your dad. Did he?
No, my dad wasn't around. So
I didn't have to deal with that.
I didn't have to deal with that. Well, it was more so me just sneaking
around.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. That when you lay down the laws and the sneaking.
Well, that's what I always say. I say just remember. I go, when it comes to lying, you reading the book that I wrote.
Exactly.
I say no one was a bigger liar than me.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a real lie. Lying was like the way most people breathe. I was a liar. So, yeah, I've gotten a lot better on that.
Well, Tom, tell everybody where they can find your new play and when, and let the people know where they can find you.
You could find me at. I don't even have all my information, but I got a website, tomalper.com, TOMALPER.com. I'm on Instagram at same thing, just Tom Alper, and Facebook it's Thomas _Alper, ALPER. But my play that's coming is called The Pitch, and it's going to be playing first 3 weekends of May 6, May 7, 14, 15, 21, 22. It's 6 shows. It's a 2-act play. It's an hour and a half. It's a fantastic play. It's about sales, manipulation, fatherhood, teenage angst, integrity, trust. It's got everything. I promise you, if nothing else, you will be entertained.
Yes, they will.
And so it's playing at the Lyric Hyperion Theater. It's in Silver Lake. Lyric Hyperion. And I'll get a flyer out to you guys.
Most definitely.
So please, you guys ever seen Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It?
Yes, I've seen it, yeah.
To quote the immortal Mars Blackman, please, baby, please, baby, please come to my show.
All right, y'all go close this out.
Yes, it's your girl Jasmine Denise, Tyree Mills, got Jay Fit right here on the 1s and 2s, and Tom Alper. It was great interviewing
thank you guys so much.
Yes, you definitely gonna have to come back to the patio to politic with us. Yes. Make sure everybody stay tuned and check out his website for more info on the Pitch stage play. We out, the Patio PolitiCz.
Yes.
Thank you.